Hello everyone, it is Finn, and today I'm going to do a video on a phrase that I use for myself fairly often, more often than I use schizoid, just because, when you tell people that you have a personality disorder, it's like red flags go off and they're not so comfortable with it. And so I use asocial introvert because I feel like that's a really good descriptor for me. And I think there's some confusion surrounding being asocial and being an introvert and what exactly those things mean. And so I wanted to clear up some misconceptions that people may have regarding those two phrases. So let's start off with the root, which is introversion, because I feel like it's an important part of how frequently I interact with people. It's kind of the undercurrent of my interactions with people. Conventionally, introverted people are known to be very shy, very reclusive. They keep to themselves because, for whatever reason, they often are thought to have social anxiety and just are scared of people in general. And that is definitely not the case. There are some very outgoing introverts. There are introverts that, really love being around people. Over the years, I feel like people have begun to understand the difference between introversion and extroversion and how they are defined, and beginning to divorce from the thought that introverted people are shy and extroverted people are super outgoing, because that is not the case for a lot of people. An introverted person is a person who derives their mental, emotional, whatever energy they have that they use to go throughout their day. They derive it from being by themselves. They derive it from doing activities by themselves. And they don't always necessarily enjoy being by themselves, but they need that alone time to recharge. So an extroverted person is, the opposite of an introverted person. This does not mean that they are super outgoing people or super talkative and super like being around people. There are extroverts that are, actually really shy. It's more about how you derive your energy to tackle the day. And extroverts get that from social interactions, from being social around other people, from engaging with people. And an extrovert might not necessarily want to be around people, but they need that interaction in order to recharge their batteries. Cool? Got it? Great. All right, so now that we have introversion versus extroversion out of the way, let's talk about social versus asocial. Social first, because that's really, really easy. A person who is social is a person who is interested in interacting with other people. Very, 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 very easy. So an extrovert, not necessarily interested in interacting with other people, but they need to interact with other people in order to recharge. A social person enjoys doing that. Cool? Got it? Excellent. Now to talk about asocial. A lot of people, when they talk about being asocial, they describe themselves as being antisocial, which is a mistake. It's a mistake. Don't do it. Antisocial is not asocial. Antisocial is, it's a personality disorder. It's characterized by being very impulsive, disregarding the lives and feelings of others, a lack of having a conscience, a lack of remorse, some violent behavior. I don't want to stigmatize being antisocial, but a lot of people that are antisocial aren't necessarily people that you want to be around. I've heard that there are antisocial people that are really chill, that they're not interested in, hurting others or making others feel bad or, all that stuff. But oftentimes when you see antisocial mentioned, it's in conjunction with being a sociopath or a psychopath, which is in conjunction with being a serial killer or, a totally heartless bastard. So I don't want to jump on that boat of saying antisocial people are, all terrible across the board. But from empirical data, from things that you can actually quantify, antisocial people tend to be really, really unpleasant to be around. I'm not here to, defend people that are diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder and have hurt people, but I think there are, people out there that aren't bad people. Because I don't think I'm a bad person, and I think if I was to be described to someone, like the things that I felt and the thoughts that go on my head, if I was described to someone else, they might think I was a bad person. But I don't know these people personally, so I cannot pass final judgment. So anyway, when people are trying to talk about being asocial, they usually evoke being antisocial, which is not what asocial is. Being asocial just means you lack interest in being around other people and engaging with other people. And I think a lot of people understand what that means, but they connect it to antisocial, which is not what asocial is. All right, cool.